Hello, everyone. Welcome to Immigration Live with Lee. I'm Lee Marvin, attorney Lee Marvin, and I'm here tonight again every Monday at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time to answer your questions about immigration, to bring up and to point out new things, new interesting things that are going on in immigration. So, welcome to all of our friends from all of our different outlets. So Instagram, especially, and YouTube, Facebook as well. Welcome. Don't forget to put your comments and questions in the comments section, so I can answer your questions and so I can help you figure out this crazy business we call immigration law. Okay. So a few quick updates I wanted to let people know about some good stuff for once. Okay. So you guys know all about the work permit delays and all the things that have been going back and forth because of post-Trump, post-COVID. So today was the first day we're starting to receive extended work permit authorizations. They used to be 2 years, they used to be 3 years, they used to be 2 years. Well, now we're getting 5 years. So we're getting work permit approvals good for 5 years now. It's an amazing thing. So if you are going through a process and you need to renew your work permit, you're going to want 5 years. Okay. So as always, reach out to me if you need help with that. But again, that's big news. That's great news. And it helps everybody who's going through all these crazy processes. It helps you save money. I mean, everybody knows that. Let's see, what's the date today? Today's the 25th. Basically, less than a week away, immigration is raising all their prices on everything. Okay. So it's going to be a nice benefit that you get a 5-year work permit instead of the mere 2 years that you've been getting for a while now. Okay. So that's good news. And we're all happy to see that. So work permits, that's the first topic. Welcome everyone who's joining us. Please drop your comments in the comment section. I did want to thank everyone who participated in our webinar last week. It was a great webinar. It was a great showing. There's a lot of great information that was communicated to people. So if you're a part of that, I know that you probably found a lot of value with that. Stand by for more updates on additional topics that we're going to be covering for these free webinars. But for everyone who joined last week, thank you, because participation is what makes this worthwhile. Okay. I can sit here and talk to myself. It gets boring after a while. So thank you for everyone who's joining us tonight and who joined us for the webinar. So I see questions right off the bat. In November 14th, marriage 485 was approved, but nothing from there. Please let us know what. Okay. So again, that's very typical, that a marriage 485 was approved, but nothing from there. I don't really know what that means, because a 485 approval means that your green card was approved. If you're wondering why you haven't gotten the actual approval, then you need to reach out to immigration and ask them where it is. But typically, if you get your interviews done, if you've gotten a notification that you're done with that, or that you get a notice that your 485 is approved, if you haven't gotten that green card, you need to reach out to immigration. There might be something with the printing. There might be some delay somewhere. So check with them and find out at their 1-800 number. I don't know what the number is off the top of my head, but it's on the back of every communication you get from immigration. So check that out. Okay. So again, welcome everyone who's joining. Please, if you have questions, make sure you post them in the comment section so I can answer your questions. So besides the extended 5 years for work permits that we're starting to see, I wanted to give some of the notifications on the wait times. That's always a topic that I get lots of people asking me questions about. Wait times is always been a part of immigration from the very beginning. Okay. Gotten worse and worse, as everybody already knows, for COVID, Trump, Biden, everybody's got their hand in making things extremely long in the delays. So let me tell you what the processing times are currently. So again, you're inside the United States and you're outside. So depending on what your process is, there's different processing times for those different field offices. Inside the United States, The different field offices, the different states, they have jurisdiction over the cases, and their processing times are all over the map. Currently, the average processing time for field offices to schedule interviews for a green card is about 19 months currently. So if you're expecting a quick turnaround, be prepared in case you don't. Now, our office, we've had average processing times from, well, as low as 4 months. 8 months is pretty common for us too. Everything depends on where it is and who the filing was done by. So it's all over the place is the point, but it can be as long as that 19 months, okay? So I will say outside the United States, processing times vary depending on 3 different things. One is the I-130 process. So immigration, USCIS, is about 14 months for them to process that request and to make a decision. Then they send that to the National Visa Center. National Visa Center and the embassy usually takes between 4 and 6 months. If you need a waiver, that's the kicker, right? If you need a waiver for your process, then you're already knowing that you're going to be waiting for approximately 43 months right now is what the wait time is for waiver processing. So it can be up to 5 years if your process requires you to be outside the United States for your interview. So that's just a quick update. I do updates all the time on that. So if you want to check out my videos, I periodically do updates. If you have specific questions for me that you want to talk, let me go ahead and put up that information so you can schedule a time to meet and to talk with me. And then I'm going to go back to the questions here in 1 second. Okay, schedule consultation. Okay. So if you have a question and you need to schedule a consultation with me, this is how you do it. Okay, you click on the link and you schedule one. That's as easy as that. So let's see. Going back to the questions here. Okay. How long can I get a work permit under the I-918 or the U visa? And how long until I get a bona fide determination? So that depends. They don't release that information. You know why? Because they don't want people contacting them and asking them. So in my experience, a bona fide determination can come anywhere between 3 months and a year or never. Bona fide determination is done by immigration. They will look at your request. If you filed properly and you have the right information and you meet the requirements, then they will take a look at that. Once they funnel through all their different personnel and they finally get to you, they will take a look at that and they will make that bona fide determination. What is a bona fide determination? What it means is we think this is a legitimate request and there's a good chance that this is going to be a U visa. That's when they're triggering the work permits. So it could happen anytime between months and never. Okay, so it really depends. The better it's filed, the more information you have with your U visa, the better chances you are at getting that bona fide determination. So again, send your questions. If you have questions about this, that, or anything else, please submit your questions. Okay, I'm a green card holder. I applied for my husband and son for a family-based immigrant visa. Now, everything was approved since 2021, and we're waiting for an interview for 3 years. I'm really sorry to hear that. You mentioned contacting a senator. I have mentioned that in the past because the thing is, Congress keeps the executive department, the executive branch in check, okay? So if you're not getting momentum or movement from immigration, whether it's through the State Department or whether that's USCIS, Department of Homeland Security, you absolutely have the right to contact your senator. Contact your senator because they have the power and the authority to beat up on the executive branch, which is the Biden administration, immigration. They have the power to do that, and you absolutely can and should reach out to them. That's one of my secrets, one of my little secrets that I've had for years that I freely share. So it's not really a secret. But yes, if you can reach out to a member of Congress or the Senate, you're in pretty good shape. Some states, some senators are more helpful than others, but everybody wants to get reelected this year. So this is a great time to reach out to your senator or your congressman, because they want to get elected and they want to make you happy. And that's a good way for them to show that they're actually doing something. Okay. So reach out for that to them. Don't hesitate. Let's see here. Because again, these wait times are ridiculous. I get it. I'm patient with the government, because I get the government is made up of people, and people have jobs, and people try hard. But after a certain point in time, enough is enough, and the delays are no longer acceptable. And it pushes the government, the Biden administration, to do what they're supposed to do and be more expedient with their processing. So don't hesitate to reach out to a member of Congress or the Senate. Okay. Let's see here. How long does it take to process a U visa? Okay. So U visas are tricky things, because like most things in immigration, it's changed. Okay. So a U visa can take 5 years or longer to get approved. What does that mean? It means that once you get that U visa approved, it means that you are now on the path for your green card. Okay. You get a U visa approved, and then they say, okay, now after a year of having this, 3 years of having this U visa status, you now can request a green card. Okay. So it can take 5 years or longer for that to happen. The bona fide determination was Biden's way of trying to speed things up, because people were not able to work. People were just sitting, literally waiting for years and years and years with no protection, nothing. So Biden created this bona fide determination to try to help people. So bona fide determination, I just spoke about it about 3 minutes ago. It's something that could happen as soon as months, or it could take much longer than that. And the longest period of time is roughly 5 or 6 years for the actual U visa to be approved. Okay, so what do we have here? How long does it take? Okay, I'm currently waiting for the waiver. Can I apply for a work permit, and how can I do it? So if I understand this question properly, you're waiting for excuse me, I'm feeling a little under the weather today. If you're waiting for your waiver to be approved, and you're in the United States, you have filed for the green card process, and you're waiting for all this stuff to go through, you don't have the right, if you file for a waiver because you have an interview that's going to be conducted outside the country, you do not have the right for a work permit. It's just the way that process works. So if you're waiting and waiting, I am sorry to hear that. The best thing you can do is try to get help with speeding up that waiver. And wasting money on an attorney is not the way to do it. Okay. I've been very vocal about this for a year and a half or longer, ever since all these attorneys online are saying, oh, expedited this and that, and I can help you, guarantee I can help you get it quicker. It's not a thing, man. It really is not. The only thing you can do is pressure government. You pressure Congress, you pressure the Senate to make the Biden administration more efficient with their job. Okay. Pressure, lawsuits, all those things are what the government responds to. Wasting your money on an attorney to try to get something expedited is not going to help you, because they don't really approve expedited requests, in my experience, unless you're on death's doorstep, you're in the hospital, and this is once in 1,000 chances to get it. I don't know if that number is accurate, but the government really doesn't approve these requests for expedited anything. Okay. So don't think that that's going to happen. Unfortunately, it's not. So let me see here. What other questions do we have? Again, thank you for joining me, all of our friends on Instagram. There's a lot of you guys, lots of questions. Please submit your questions in the comment section so that I can answer them. So right here, okay, how long does it take? My PD, prosecutorial discretion, is what I'm assuming is 216, and I did biometrics on 312. Yeah, that is, unfortunately, that question doesn't provide me enough information to really go on anything. So I will tell you, I'm going to post this again. you can reach out to me directly so that I can help answer questions about your specific process. Sometimes, as valuable as these live sessions are, there's no substitute for actually talking to me, so I can actually analyze your situation and give you a better idea. Okay. Um, we filed an I-130, and the tax office put single on the form 1040. What will happen? I'm in the US too. Okay, so the tax office doesn't put anything on anything unless you're talking about your accountant. And then, yeah, they put what status you have as a filer. If you're single and what you're saying is you're actually married and you need to show your significant other on your tax return, you can file an amendment for that. It's very important to do an accurate reflection of your family situation, not just for tax purposes, because you don't want to antagonize the IRS and do things improperly, but for immigration purposes, it helps you in the future, right? It shows that you have a family unit. And look, government, back when I filed taxes, I even put on my taxes. So of course we have a strong family relationship. So you can always do an amendment. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see. How long does it take to get naturalized through the green card at the time? Okay, so that's an easy question. They've prioritized naturalization requests, and they actually started doing that under Trump in order to get people citizenship so they could actually vote in elections. Okay, so they usually are about 10 months. Okay, but 10 months for the naturalization process to go through, assuming that you do it right, assuming that there's no issues or things that prevent you from actually being eligible for it. It usually takes about 10 months to a year for them to process that and schedule your interview. Usually, the oath ceremony is, in my experience here in Michigan, it's usually within a couple weeks. So it usually is pretty quick to actually take the oath and to become a U.S. citizen. Okay. Let's see here. I filed a waiver 601 along with a VAWA petition. I got prima facie and biometric done. I got prima facie. I don't know what that means. How long does it take to get the combo card? Okay, so yeah, you're using terms here that I haven't seen people use in conjunction with one another. So I don't know if I'm going to read too much into this, but basically, you file for a 601 waiver with your VAWA. You've got two different processes. This is a very complicated situation. And I would talk to the person who helped you with this, because unless you did it by yourself, this is a process, the VAWA and the waiver is something that I never recommend anyone doing themselves, which means hopefully you had an attorney help you. You need to ask your attorney that. No way I can answer that question without a great deal more information. And if you're already represented, I can't even help you. So I will just tell you to talk to your attorney who helped you file that. Okay, real quick, I'm going to go over here and look at some questions that I know are on YouTube. All of our friends on YouTube, thank you for joining us. I'm looking into moving to another country after parole since the U.S. makes me register. Don't know what that means. What are my options with a felony background? About 20 years old. I heard about investment passports. Will I be disapproved? So, JB, criminal things with other countries, they're extremely harsh. Every country is harsh when it comes to any sort of criminal background, especially felonies. Okay. So most countries, they won't take you. So if your home country, that might be your only option. There are investment visas. There are things that you can do in different countries. The U.S. doesn't do that many of those. I mean, there are ways of getting investment visas here in the United States. That's a business type visa. I don't do those, but other countries have a lot of different types of visas because they need people. They want people to come into the country and spend money. You would have to talk to an attorney from that country. I never give advice on any other country but the United States. And anyone who does is probably not somebody you want to do business with. So go to the country of origin that you're trying to go to and talk to an attorney from that country, okay? So let me go back to our friends here on Instagram. Please send your questions, post them in the comment section. Let's see, what do we have here? I'm asking for the EAD timeline. My PD is 216 and did my biometrics 312. It says my file is at the end. Yeah. So my internet is connected. The question was regarding single. Oh, yeah. So Maya. Okay. So what I said about the filing with tax return. Okay, if you have a significant other and you forgot to include them, if your tax preparer inadvertently put single when they should have put married filing jointly or head of household or whatever, you can do an amendment and you can talk to them to have your significant other added to your tax returns. Very important that you do that because that is going to be a very helpful thing in the future for your immigration, okay? So go ahead and talk to your provider. Only 10 minutes left, so please submit your questions. There's a lot of, well, there's one thing that I want to talk about with this waiver business. So waivers are tricky things, as everyone knows. I just today got a notice from one of my clients. They're knee deep in the waiver process and waiting for a decision. And I was told today that the sponsor died. So the sponsor for the process, for the green card process and the waiver died. So now we're trying to figure out what needs to happen in order for that process to continue to keep going forward to lead to a green card. It is absolutely possible for a tragic situation like that to still move forward in order to get an approval, both through the waiver process and through the green card process. Highly delicate, highly sensitive, very complicated area of immigration law. So if you've got a weird waiver request that you need submitted, or you have something that happened during your process, you can reach out and ask me by clicking the following link and scheduling a consultation. A lot of this stuff needs a heck of a lot more information. I would not be a good attorney if I just answered blindly to a lot of these types of questions. There's some questions that are very common, but others that need a great deal of information. I would never answer questions unless I had the full scope of information about your particular case. So schedule a consultation if you need to. So I highly encourage you to do that. It's worth every penny, okay? So again, submit your last questions. I mean, there's 8 minutes left. Let me see what we have here. Okay, so we're good with that. I answered that one. I did have a question from earlier that I wanted to answer, okay? So a question, yeah, okay. Okay, this is, I thought, a very interesting question that I wanted to make sure that I got to. I forgot it last week. I don't want to forget it this week. I'm a U.S. citizen, but I moved back to my home country when I was a minor. Okay, so was born in the United States, U.S. citizen. Then I moved back to my country. Okay, so now that I'm older, I've got kids of my own in my home country. And sponsoring derivative citizenship for kids, you have to show a certain amount of time that you've lived in the United States to prove that you have the right to transfer that derivative citizenship to your children, okay? So the question was, since I can't really do that, can I still sponsor my kids for a green card? Absolutely, 100%. If this situation is similar to your situation, you can always sponsor family, okay? You can sponsor your kids, whether you're a legal permanent resident or you're a U.S. citizen, you can still sponsor your kids even if you can't get them derivative citizenship. So don't forget about that. The worst case scenario, you get them a green card, and after 5 years, they can apply for citizenship. So it's a 5-year wait. Worst case scenario, that's not a bad situation. So yes, That question is very important. That happens to a lot of people that move back home after they go with their family back home. They leave the United States. So yes, keep that in mind. I can help you with that. If you have questions, you can schedule a consultation. Again, my link is up in the comment section. It's not too far up there. Okay, I'm going back over to YouTube. I want to see some questions here. Do you know how the EAD AP card timeline is? I don't, off the top of my head, I don't know. I would have to look that up. I do know that work permits are starting to move a little bit quicker. Most of the time when I'm filing for my clients, it's a matter of months. It depends on what the process is, because every process is different. And I know you hear that a lot, but really it depends on what the main process you are applying for is to determine how long the processing time is going to be. Okay. I'm asking about the combo card, employment authorization and advanced parole. I live in New York. My file is currently in NBC. My priority date is February 16th. I did my biometrics. So employment authorization and advanced parole. So again, the advanced paroles, man, these, like everything, and I hate sound like a broken record, but they're all over the map. I've gotten amazing progress on advanced parole requests. Like, it was 2 months. In the past, it used to take like 10 months. I got them within 2 to 4 months. That is what my average is right now. Again, I do a phenomenal job. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying, the better job you do with this stuff, the easier it is for the government to approve it. So as far as general processing time, I don't know that. You might have to look that up. You might have to reach out to me so that I can help you figure that out. I don't know it off the top of my head, okay? I just know in my experience what my advanced parole processing is in an employment authorization. But I'm sure the government tells you a number that is probably not very accurate. So most of the numbers that are on the website that the government produces, I don't really follow. I follow my own experience and what I'm getting through my clients. And that's a real accurate predictor. Online is not particularly helpful. So let me go back over here. I do have a lot of that information on my YouTube channel. So if you have specific questions, check my YouTube channel, do a search, and then I will oftentimes have update videos where I will analyze that and I will tell people what those processing times are. So check out my YouTube channel. Always a great source of free information. And I'm always adding to that channel. So it's usually pretty accurate and up to date. Yeah, one particular video I have on there is how to check the status of your case. That is an important skill to know with immigration. Whether it's accurate or not depends from 1 month to the next. But check out that video. I think that you would see a lot of value in that, okay? So let's see here. Can I travel before getting an interview for naturalization and stay more than 3 months outside? So once you meet the requirements for being able to file for naturalization, okay? Once you file that bad boy, you absolutely have the ability to travel. Short-term travel is not the question when you're applying for something like that. It's relocating. So you absolutely can travel. There's no restrictions. You just need to have somebody with good communication. So they tell you that you got something in the mail that has scheduled your appointment. You don't want to miss that appointment, but absolutely you can travel. There's no restrictions on your travel while you're a legal permanent resident waiting for your naturalization. So again, with that, I'm seeing any last minute questions. I appreciate it. Mr. MC, I really appreciate your words. That's very nice of you to say. I do take my time because I do care about people, and I have a specific knowledge that I like sharing this stuff with, because I tell you what, it took me, well, I've been an attorney for 20 years. It's taken me over 11, 12 years to kind of get my arms around and master this immigration stuff. So I'm happy to help people. Again, it's these things, these sessions aren't everything, but they help a lot of people. And please click on these links to schedule a consultation if you have specific information that you need. If you need help with a process, don't be shy. Reach out to me so I can help you, because it solves a lot of problems, and it's something that I'm happy to do. So thank you everyone for joining us. Again, stand by for next week. I'm going to have more updates. Whatever craziness is going to happen in the next week, I will report on it next week for you guys. So please reach out to me. Please join us next week. And thank you for your time, taking your time to be with me tonight. I sincerely appreciate it. Have a wonderful night, and we'll see you next time. Bye.